POV, this is you. I know what you're thinking. Did this man just drain me down his esophagus? Yes, in fact, I'm actually communicating with you right now through my digestive system. You're just chilling there and I'm just talking to you. Well, I'm talking to myself because you're swimming inside of my stomach. But where else on this platform can you find a content creator that is going to drink you in the first 10 seconds of the video? Name one. Now, I'm sure you've read the title of the video, but if you're feeling a bit Helen Kellerish, I'll just tell you. Well, I guess if you are feeling Helen Kellerish, I can't really tell you either. In today's video, we're going to be looking at people complaining about their relationships. And we're going to come to the conclusion if they should be in those relationships or if they should unrelationship. r/relationships is a beautiful place that we've actually covered on this channel before. And the last time I did it, I used my incubator's iPad to do so. So in honor of that devastating video, I've brought it back. Again, without the knowledge of my mother. Comment down below. Shout out to Ahmed's Womb BNB for providing her technological device. Before we break down the first relationship, I know I'm single and I'm dealing with plural people, but you know what they say, coaches don't play. They just give really bad tactics. I'm the Pep Fraudiola of relationship advice. Starting a new series of who was the best comment on ahmadelyo's last video. And that goes to Nile Jav XIP, who says, Ahmed, please be my father figure. This was commented 5 days ago, and I'm happy to say I've adopted Nile Jav XIP. I've adopted the thing. I don't know what the thing is, but I've adopted it. I've adopted it so much, in fact, the first thing I did was drink it. I really need to stop drinking, people. I guess you could say my comment section is also in my stomach. I, 22 fermented rhinoceros, believe my boyfriend, 28 meningitis, might be tampering with my toothbrush. This is probably the weirdest and most disgusting thing I've ever typed, but I think I'm slowly realizing that my boyfriend has been doing something really messed up. We've been together for about a year and a half. He's always been a little passive aggressive when he's upset. He won't talk things through. He just gets quiet or moody and gives me the silent treatment when I'm trying to hash things out until the conversation ends. He loves to reset and act like an issue or a disagreement never happened. I love how she said reset. I know that's a pretty self-explanatory word in this scenario, but she just made it sound like he was an iOS device and he was trying to back up. I like that. Let's refer to our significant others like they're chunks of technology. Anyways, a few months ago, I started noticing my toothbrush was being moved. It's electronic and it would be off the charger on its side or the whole thing scooter back/forward. I thought it was just getting knocked around because our counterpart is small. Eventually, I started noticing that it would be wet in the middle of the day or other times when I hadn't recently brushed my teeth. One time I noticed something on it, like it had been used to clean Groot. I'm sorry, I'm not really in the dental defense league, but what is Groot? He just plucked out a Guardians of the Galaxy character from his teeth links. I don't think you've realized it, but your insignificant other is special. People have gone far and wide to find real-life Marvel characters, and he just has them chilling in his fangs. But I guess it's fair to say this isn't the Marvel verse. This is the meningitis verse. That's when I started keeping a small spare toothbrush hidden in my makeup bag, which never was moved or messed with. Here's the part that really makes me feel sick. I finally confronted him after struggling to come to the reality that someone might be this disgusting and said something straightforward along the lines of, "Are you doing something to my toothbrush when you're mad at me?" I don't know why I just switched to a British accent. Actually, I do know why. The British are known for their phenomenal teeth. Yeah, they're definitely never throwing up gang signs or anything like that. I don't know why. I can just imagine this being a scene straight out of Bridgerton. I mean, Braces-ton. "Are you doing something to my toothbrush when you're mad at me?" And he just laughed and said, "You're crazy," and then refused to talk about it further. I don't even know how to process that. Like, what? I haven't seen him do it, so I don't have proof, but I know something's up. But my gut is screaming at me that this is real and he is getting back at me by putting my toothbrush in the toilet or something else gross. I haven't told anyone because it's honestly humiliating and gross, but I feel trapped between thinking I'm paranoid and realizing I might be with someone who would literally put my toothbrush in the toilet to get back at me. What do I even do? As someone who was a ex-psychology major, so I actually was supposed to major in psychology, and I did major in psychology for 3 weeks. Even get past like the first 2 classes. But when I read stories like this, this, I realized there is a need for more therapists. We need to therapistize more people. Have you realized that you're in a relationship with the toothless fairy? Like you said, there's no way to get that certainty or be absolutely, here we go, Fabrizio Romano on something like this, because you're not really sure if he actually is flinging your toothbrush into the feces portal. But I think there are two things to analyze here. Firstly, you said that he gets quite agitated and angry. If somebody converts into an angry bird in a situation that seems completely bizarre to them, that means that situation is not really bizarre to them. Somebody frames me for farting, right? Let's say I'm in a car with a bunch of my homies and a fascinating fume is released into the air. I don't want this to turn into an advertisement for my farts, but trust me, if you haven't sniffed them, you want to. Straight Dior Sauvage farts. They're actually a blessing. When my cheeks release them into the universe, people are crying from the smoothness of my smell. I'm sorry, I went off track and ran Google ads for my farts. Let's get back to the topic at hand. But if I'm in the whip with a bunch of my homies and we smell something disgusting to the Pinocchio, if everyone reacts calmly and I'm the only one to react completely out of order, or if I'm the only one to get extremely defensive, there's a pretty good chance it's me, because why am I buying that many center backs? Why am I playing that much defense? But the second thing is, and it's something that I've discussed in previous videos, this is a situation that honestly you would only find on Reddit, and it's rightfully so on Reddit. Because if I think about my parents' relationships or anybody with a organic, healthy relationship, if your partner truly does care about you, they're gonna do everything in their power to reassure you that they are in fact not guilty, not through an aggressive or an angry manner, but they're going to show you and help you find a solution to this issue. That's saying if he is not guilty. But it looks like we're going to have to put your man in teethanary confinement. I don't know how he is in other aspects of the relationship, but if I judge him solely off of this situation alone, I'm not going to tell you to break up, but I'm definitely going to tell you to free your teeth. If you're not going to free yourself, free your teeth. I'm not saying you're going to just continue to use that toothbrush because you're cheating on your main toothbrush with another toothbrush. But what if that toothbrush gets colonized as well? Remember, he's the teethless fairy. He wants you to look like a vampire. I don't know, maybe there's a way you can chew your way through this. And if you can't, it's probably because you lost your teeth by then. My 26 Flamin' Hot Cheeto boyfriend 30 mashed potato got me Pokemon for Christmas and I can't let it go. Do I call it quits or work it out? You do neither of those things. You gotta catch them all. Remember, it's Pokemon. You have to catch them all. There's no other way. For context, my boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years. Since I've known him, he has always loved Pokemon. Personally, I have no interest, but as his partner, I encourage his hobbies and support him. This past Christmas, we had a few conversations about Christmas budgets and have mentioned to each other things we have been wanting. I knew Pokemon packs were on the top of his list, so I made sure to get him some. I mentioned wanting a few beauty products and a specific hoodie. Well, Christmas comes around, and to my surprise, I opened my gifts. The first one was a pack of Pokemon cards. Okay, whatever. The next one was a booster box of Pokemon cards. I stop and ask him if he's joking, because this must be a joke, right? Do you see anyone dabbing? No, it's not a joke. This is what you get for getting with Ash Ketchup. He was full of excitement while I opened my gifts. No, this guy is actually a criminal. He bought gifts that he would buy for himself to watch somebody else open the gifts that he would buy for himself. That's not narcissism. That's narcoticism. That's it. Those were my 3 gifts. I am not and never have been interested in Pokemon. After this, I told him I needed a moment to myself. I went to our bedroom and took a moment to gather my thoughts and lower my temper. When I came back to the living room, there he was on the floor. Both booster packs and the pack of cards he got me were opened and sprawled across the floor. I was in shock. Not only did he get me gifts that I didn't want, but he actually got them for himself and tried to play it off. I've been trying to move past this as I did not want to seem ungrateful, but I just can't believe he would do something like this. Every time I have tried to bring it up, he has told me how expensive those booster boxes were and how I made him feel bad for not appreciating my gifts. Am I being ungrateful or is he just a jerk? I think he's beef jerky. Actually, no, that's generous. He's vegan jerky. Shout out to the vegans. I don't want no beef. I know you guys don't. You guys don't have no beef. There's a mosquito flying around as I film this. Come here. Ow. And I didn't slaughter it. I love how you ended this off with a question of, am I being ungrateful or am I being a jerk? Because I think that just goes to show how brainwashed you have been to accept this man for so long. I don't know if this is the general theme of the relationship, but I'm going to conspiracize, and I don't even know if that is the proper wordage to whip out here. But I'm going to hypothesize that that is the case. This sounds like the exact image of a cocomelon trap in a fully marinated Milphibian's body. I mean, not only does he buy you something that you you do not like, right? It's something that he does like. But most importantly, he just doesn't seem annoyed by the fact that you're annoyed by the fact. My forte is dealing with marriage relationships, as I am nowhere near that. But it is also the thing that I plan on doing when I do find the one. But I think the fact that he hasn't planted a ring on your finger, it is enough of a reason to run in the other direction. It's been 3 years. I know a lot of people have their different ideologies on relationships and, you know, how long they should be. And obviously, as someone who tries to be a practicing Islamified individual, we're encouraged to get married. We don't really do the boyfriend, girlfriend thingy mababi. But even as an outsider looking insider, the dude just did a Pokemon pack opening and then used you to do another Pokemon pack opening. Not only does it show selfishness, but it shows a incredible level of immaturity. And you seem like a pretty mature person because you deported yourself from the situation to cool your temper down. So clearly the intellectual levels are fluctuating between the two of you. One of you seems to be here and he seems to be not even on the same planet. And we're talking about Pokemon, which is why I'm gonna say go. Get it? Because like, do you guys remember Pokemon Go? I'm gonna go harm myself. 33 finished finish. That's just a person from Finland that's finished. Wouldn't it be funny if instead of calling Finland people Finnish people, what if we just called them finished? That'd be funny, right? Alright, I'm just gonna read the story. My wife 33 Fogo di Chao and I have been in isolation since the start of COVID. I think it's time to move on from COVID. Whereas she is convinced that she will die if we stop isolating. I'm at a loss at what to do. Don't worry, because I'm here to tell you how you can lose more from this situation. We're trying to make sure you suffer. We've been in isolation since start of COVID, and I mean full isolation. I've missed my brother's wedding and the birth of his son. Our groceries are delivered. All communications with family is done purely via video call. We've essentially stopped talking to our friends because they wouldn't understand. This has led to other things like her losing her job. Her anxiety stems from working in the medical field, and this has made him move to a remote-only role. At first, I thought of it as more of a lifestyle change, something that is temporary due to the pandemic. But now I think it's morphed into something out of control. I genuinely think it's a mental illness, but I feel like there is nothing I can do. I think leaving and getting her help is the best solution, as we don't have children yet. She calls it that I've left her to fend to herself and betrayed her. I think I've been at fault for enabling this behavior, and it has clearly now gotten out of control. What other actions could I take? Her parents and extended family have tried persuading her, and it always ends up in a screaming contest. Really, she needs help. This might be even more severe than therapy. She might need something a little more serious. Obviously, she's taking it out of proportion because I think her mind is out of proportion. She's telling you that if you leave her, you're betraying her to fend for herself and whatnot. And I think even the fact that you're writing that shows that you do still sympathize with her. Obviously, she is your wife. And part of being a husband and wife is going through the roller coaster, going through the dips. Now, this is a more severe dip, of course. And I think if you get her the proper help and she still cannot be helped, then yeah, you might have to help yourself. But I think this is something that therapists do deal with. I'm not one to diagnose, but immediately the thing that comes to my mind is something like exposure therapy, where she's exposed to the thing that she's fearful of. I know that seems like a very basic thing for someone to do, but I can only imagine how effective that would be for someone who's extremely paranoid of a specific thing. My boyfriend 26 Milked Monkey is in a mood because I, Filipino Flamingo, had a pizza after a night out. Do you see where he is coming from? For context, I am not a big girl. I am just a normal weight. You're just a normal weight? Can we get the resolution? Because okay, you've specified that your resolution is not stretched, but what are the details? Congratulations, you're not spherically gifted. But what is a normal weight? Can we just not be shaped like we're geometrically in danger? I swim about 4 times a week, but I am a bit of a foodie. I have a food Instagram account and I like to go out for food. You mukbang merchant. I'm a normal weight. Yeah, right. I probably go out for lunch or dinner weekly. I don't count calories and I'm not strict with my diet. We get it. You're not Big Hero 6. You're Small Hero 3.5. Last night my boyfriend and I went out with his friends and I came home early since we had an early train to catch in the morning. I got a pizza on my way home. I normally will get a pizza after a night out. I ate probably just over half the pizza and I shared some with a girl I met on the street. My boyfriend got in about an hour after me and then this morning he saw the pizza box. I think you might be in a relationship with Freddy Fazbear. This is 5 Nights at Freddy's all over again. He was in a mood about it all morning, telling me he tries hard to be attractive for me and seems like I don't care at all. He goes to the gym most days, a similar frequency to how often I swim. And we also sometimes play badminton together. And you know what I also sometimes think? You guys might be badmintons together. He isn't ripped or anything. He's a normal weight. Yes, he is a normal weight, and you are a normal weight. But nothing about this is a normal state. Guys, I've done it again. Shakespeare is definitely shaking, and not in a good way. I said, do you find me unattractive how I am? He said, no, he finds me attractive. He wants me to think about long term. I said I would understand if he wasn't happy with how I look now. I feel like I do keep myself in shape by swimming, but I don't want to be so obsessive about what I eat. He is very conscious about what he eats. That's it really. Am I missing something, or should he get off my back? Firstly, I'm going to answer your last line. He needs to get off of your y-axis immediately. He needs to hop off of your spinal cord. But I think some food for thought, actually, let's not give you some more food to think about, because you are a normal weight. He says that he still finds you attractive, but clearly he has an issue with you eating some food. I think this stems from a deep level of insecurity. And I know that term is thrown around so loosely nowadays, but there's no reason for him to be agitated over you eating a pizza unless he can't do the same thing. And to me, that seems like the situation. Because you said you don't count your calories. He seems to be counting his calories and watching his diet.
Even though I'm a New York Italian and we love our pizza, maybe his body reacts in a certain way to the pizza. This is the way your body reacts to the pizza.
I'm not a New York Italian, and if you're a New York Italian, just keep on talking, because honestly, that accent is the only thing you're good for. And making pizza. Keep making pizza. That was a joke, by the way. I don't want the spaghetti mafia to come after me. But I think this issue is ultimately originating from some sense of insecurity. I think something that you also have to think about that's not food oriented, because you are a normal weight, and because he is talking about long term. What happens if, let's say, hypothetically, you release a cocomelon into the world? Your body is going to change. It is going to be affected by that. And you want to be with someone who is going to be with you regardless of the way your body is going to be affected by certain things. I'm not saying for you to go ahead and inflate, but you ate a pizza, and if your body reacts to the pizza, fine. There is no reason for anybody to reacting like this. He's reacting like you're actually going to convert into a pizza box. If he wants to talk about long term, I think you should start thinking about long term and think, what if something happens to my body that isn't in my control? And this is something that is in your control, and it's not even being taken out of control. This is the last relationship that I'm going to diss relationship for this MP4 file. My girlfriend 30 Flappy Bird told me 25 macros checker not to bring her up around a guy. Hello, first post here and I need some advice. My girlfriend of 8 months told me not to bring her up around a specific guy. Mind you, he's technically her boss, and I'm technically your boss now. Leave. Deport yourself, dispatch yourself, disengage yourself, detach yourself, disintegrate yourself from this situation. I say technically because he's a higher up, but he isn't her boss for her district. Oh, so he's not the final boss. He just has lots of XP. He's just leveled up. And they do talk a bit more than just boss and associate. She has mentioned before to me that he's cute, like super cute. He can be a model. Okay, she's not cheating on you, bro. Okay, is that what you wanted to hear? She's committing fraud on you, bro. Do people not realize that if you're not receiving the right love, you can find love elsewhere? It's not impossible. Here, I'm going to drop a hot take that nobody asked for. Why? Because I'm just a hot person, and no one except myself has said that. Many people have asked me who my celebrity crush is, and I have crushed that question with immediate effect. I'll be honest, I don't have crushes on people that don't know of my existence, but even if I was to have a crush on somebody that didn't know of my existence, I wouldn't publicize that to the internet, and I wouldn't publicize that to people. Because imagine if my future wife knew at some point of me interacting with Oxygen, I was attracted to someone other than her. Why would I want her to know that? Why would I want her to feel like that? And obviously I'm saying this myself, but I would appreciate if she would do the same thing. I'm not saying humans can't find other humans attractive. That's completely abnormal. And if you don't find other humans attractive, then you probably belong on some of the worst areas on Reddit. I think it's just common courtesy to not compliment a good-looking person or someone that you might deem as attractive to the person that ultimately should be the most attractive to you. I've caught her deleting messages between them. She replied that I'm reading too much into it, got upset, and threatened to sleep with her parents tonight. If she wants to sleep at her parents' habitat tonight, allow her to do so. Actually, allow her to hibernate there. But put that relationship on D&D. Leave her sleeping unbeauty. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to the the channel so you can see me torment more relationships even further. I'll see you guys next week. My father has been telling me the same thing for 32 years. I haven't even been alive for 32 years, and my father is very much available in my life. So yeah, I just framed my father figure. Oh, what's that? You're still stuck in my stomach and you want me to adjust the temperature? I'll think about it. You just work with what you got. Remember, because I drank you in the beginning of the video. Guys, do you guys remember when I drank you guys? I really need to seek employment.